You might be eating something every single day that's quietly building deadly clots inside your heart, your brain, and your lungs. It sounds dramatic, but it's not fiction. It's a medical reality. Every year, over 300,000 Americans die from blood clots. And the most shocking part? Many of them thought they were eating healthy. They didn't smoke. They stayed active. But what they didn't know was that certain everyday foods were slowly triggering silent inflammation, damaging blood vessels, and increasing clot formation with every bite. Today, we're pulling back the curtain. I'm going to expose 7 hidden food traps that may be pushing you closer to a stroke, a heart attack, or even sudden death. And you won't see some of these coming. But don't worry, we're not just talking danger. I'll also share 4 powerful foods that help naturally clean your arteries and protect your blood flow for years to come. Because when you're over 60, what you eat can either keep your blood moving or stop it cold. Tell me in the comments, what's your go-to meal each day? Because who knows, it might be on this list. Stay with me. This may be the most important health video you'll watch all week. 1. Artificial sweeteners. Fake sweetness, real danger. You cut back on sugar. You switched to diet soda. You started using those 0-calorie sweeteners in your morning coffee. It felt like the smart choice, right? But what if I told you, you may have just traded one danger for something even worse? Artificial sweeteners, especially one called erythritol, are marketed as harmless. No calories, no sugar spikes. A healthier option. But here's what researchers recently discovered. In a groundbreaking study published in Nature Medicine, people with high levels of erythritol in their blood were twice as likely to experience a heart attack or stroke within just 3 years. Why? Because erythritol affects how your blood clots. It makes your platelets, tiny cells that stop bleeding, stickier and more reactive. Imagine them clumping together like glue every time you drink a diet soda. The more sticky those cells get, the higher your risk of forming a deadly clot in your veins, lungs, or brain. Even scarier? This doesn't happen immediately. It builds slowly, quietly, sip by sip. Until one day, everything changes in an instant. Many people over 60 are trying to make healthier choices. They avoid table sugar. They read labels. But then they load up on sugar-free candies, flavored waters, and low-carb desserts loaded with artificial sweeteners that may be silently damaging their blood flow. Here's the insight no one tells you. Sometimes trying to be healthier without understanding the science can be even more dangerous. So what's the better choice? First, try a 7-day sweet reset. Cut out all added sweeteners. Yes, even the healthy ones. Let your body relearn what real sweetness tastes like. Then, if you want a little treat, reach for raw honey, fresh fruit, or even cinnamon. These natural choices don't spike your blood in the same way, and they don't alter your platelets. Your bloodstream isn't a place for chemicals. It's where life flows. Keep it clean. Keep it natural. Keep it moving. 2. Processed meats. Tasty meat, tired heart. Every morning, Harold made the same breakfast. 2 slices of toasted bread, a fried egg, and a thick cut of sausage. He was 72, still active, still sharp. But lately, something felt off. Just walking up the stairs made him breathe harder. Not pain, just tightness in the chest. He ignored it, until one day, his doctor ran some tests. The diagnosis? 70% blockage in his coronary artery. The cause wasn't just age. It was what he ate every single morning. Processed meats, sausages, bacon, cold cuts, deli slices may taste satisfying, but they're loaded with ingredients that silently damage your cardiovascular system. Let's break it down. These meats are high in low-quality saturated fats, the kind that promotes plaque buildup inside your arteries. They also contain nitrites and nitrates, preservatives that convert into compounds called nitrosamines, strongly linked to inflammation and blood clot formation. And then there are AGEs, advanced glycation end products, formed when meat is cooked at high temperatures. These molecules generate oxidative stress, making blood vessels stiffer and more prone to clotting. Here's the breakthrough insight. It's not meat itself that's the enemy. It's how we process it. When we cure it, smoke it, fry it, preserve it, we transform a source of protein into a chemical cocktail for the bloodstream. Many seniors choose these meats out of convenience. They're quick, flavorful, familiar. But familiarity isn't safety. And convenience doesn't always mean care. So, what should you eat instead? Swap processed meats for steamed chicken, boiled turkey, or grilled fish with light seasoning. If you want something hearty, try slow-cooked lean beef, not factory-made sausage. And if you love sandwiches, build them with fresh veggies, avocado, and a slice of home-cooked protein, not plastic-wrapped meat from the deli aisle. Your arteries are like highways. Keep them clean. Keep them flowing. And remember, what tastes good for 5 minutes should never hurt your heart for 5 years. 3. Refined carbs. White bread, dark pressure. It's just a slice of toast, just a warm muffin, just a little pasta for dinner. You tell yourself it's nothing, just something quick to hold you over. But what if I told you that these everyday choices may be quietly slowing your blood, thickening it, and setting the stage for a life-threatening clot? Let's follow what happens when you eat refined carbohydrates. White bread, white rice, pancakes, crackers, cookies. These are foods made from grains that have been stripped of their fiber, nutrients, and protective layers, leaving behind nothing but fast-digesting starch. As soon as these carbs hit your system, your blood sugar surges. Your pancreas floods your body with insulin, trying to bring that sugar down. But while that happens, another process kicks in: glycation. Glycation is the silent destroyer. It's what happens when sugar molecules attach themselves to proteins in your blood. And once that bond forms, the protein changes. It becomes stiff, misshapen, sticky. Now think about what that means. Sticky proteins circulating in your bloodstream, clinging to artery walls, slowing your circulation, fueling chronic inflammation, creating the perfect storm for a blood clot to form without you even knowing it. And it doesn't stop there. Glycation also damages your blood vessel lining, making it more likely to rupture or trap plaque. Over time, that's what leads to deep vein thrombosis, stroke, or sudden cardiac events, especially for those over 60. Here's the irony. The foods that digest fast make your blood move slow. And here's the tragedy. Most seniors are told to avoid sugar, but not taught to recognize that refined white carbs act just like sugar inside the body. That innocent-looking toast at breakfast, that soft dinner roll at lunch, that bowl of white pasta with cream sauce at night, they may be silently aging your blood vessels from the inside out. So what can you do? Start by choosing carbs that still have their structure, their fiber, their bran, their germ. Oats, quinoa, barley, brown rice, whole grain bread. These slow down digestion, stabilize blood sugar, and reduce glycation. Next, add natural fiber to your plate. A cup of broccoli, a spoonful of chia or flaxseed, a side of beans or lentils. These not only feed your gut, but help absorb sugar more slowly, easing the pressure on your blood. Here's a simple shift. Instead of toast and jam, try whole grain toast with almond butter. Instead of a muffin, go for overnight oats with berries. Instead of pasta, try roasted vegetables with wild rice. You're not giving up carbs. You're choosing the ones that work with your blood, not against it. Because what fuels your body should never threaten your life. And the next time you reach for something quick, ask yourself, is this helping my blood flow freely or slowing it to a dangerous stop? Or 4. Fast food. Convenience today, a V-drip tomorrow. You're hungry, you're tired, and fast food is right there, hot, salty, and ready in 5 minutes. It's cheap, it's familiar, and let's be honest, it tastes good. But behind that flavor is a quiet danger that builds up with every bite, especially after the age of 60. What feels like a small, harmless decision can slowly turn into a serious threat to your heart and your blood vessels. Fast food isn't just high in calories, it's a chemical storm. It often contains low-grade meats filled with preservatives, fats that inflame your arteries, and cooking oils that have been reheated again and again until they turn toxic. These oils release compounds called trans fats and aldehydes, which damage the lining of your blood vessels and make your blood thicker and more prone to clot. Over time, that can lead to blocked arteries, heart strain, or even a sudden stroke. Let me tell you about Thomas, a 68-year-old taxi driver. He didn't smoke. He wasn't overweight. But every day for lunch, he had the same routine: a fried chicken sandwich, fries, and a soda. It kept him full, fast, and on schedule. Until one day, he felt dizzy after lunch, his speech slurred, and his right arm went numb. He was having a minor stroke. Doctors found his blood was thick, his arteries inflamed, and his cholesterol dangerously high. It wasn't just genetics, it was years of deep-fried habits. Here's what most people don't realize: it's not only what you eat, it's how it's cooked. Most fast food is fried in reused oil. The meat is processed, stored for months, and loaded with salt and preservatives that push your blood pressure through the roof. That daily combo meal? It's not just hard on your waistline, it's hard on your blood. Even worse, fast food lacks what your body needs most: real nutrients. It gives you a temporary full feeling, but leaves your cells starved for vitamins, minerals, and healthy fats. That imbalance creates systemic inflammation, which slows circulation, weakens the heart, and makes clotting more likely. But there's good news. You don't have to be perfect. You just have to be smart. Start small. At home, boil 2 eggs. Steam some broccoli. Add oats and cinnamon to your breakfast instead of a bagel or biscuit. These foods take less than 10 minutes to prepare and don't flood your bloodstream with harmful fats. And if you're eating out, choose grilled over fried. Ask for less sauce. Say no to soda. And always watch the sodium. Your blood is the highway of life. When it flows well, you feel clear, energized, alive. But when it slows, thickens, and clots, it puts every organ at risk. The scary part is, most people don't feel anything until it's too late. So next time you're about to say just this once, ask yourself, is it really worth it? Because convenience today can turn into IV drips, prescriptions, and regret tomorrow. Your heart deserves better, and you have the power to give it that, one meal at a time. Fine canned foods, more salt than blood. You walk into the kitchen, you open the pantry, and there it is, a can of soup, a ready-to-heat meal, a microwavable bowl of comfort food. It seems like the perfect solution. No prep, no mess. Just pop it open and enjoy. But inside that can lies something your heart may not survive. Most people think high blood pressure comes from using too much table salt. But here's the truth. Over 70% of the sodium we consume doesn't come from the salt shaker. It comes from processed, canned, and packaged foods. And that includes your favorite soups, instant noodles, and canned vegetables. Take 1 can of low-fat chicken noodle soup. Seems innocent, right? But it often contains over 900 to 1,200 milligrams of sodium per serving. Now remember, many cans have 2 servings. That means 1 bowl of soup can easily pack over 2,000 milligrams of salt, which is your entire daily recommended limit in a single meal. Here's the real danger. Sodium doesn't just raise blood pressure, it damages the endothelium, the delicate lining of your blood vessels. When that lining is inflamed or weakened, it becomes rougher. Sticky. That's when platelets start to clump, forming small blood clots that can block oxygen from reaching your brain, your heart, or your lungs. And if you're already over 60, the risks are even greater. As we age, our kidneys become less efficient at excreting excess sodium. That means more fluid stays in the bloodstream. Your heart works harder, and your arteries are under constant pressure. The result? Silent damage that can lead to stroke, heart failure, or pulmonary embolism without a single warning sign. Let me share the story of Margaret, a 73-year-old widow who prided herself on eating light. No fried food, no red meat. But every day for lunch, she had a can of heart-healthy soup. She believed the label. She trusted the convenience. Until one day, she fainted in her kitchen. Her blood pressure had spiked unexpectedly, and doctors discovered her sodium intake had quietly crept to dangerous levels. Margaret didn't add salt to her meals. She didn't have a salty tooth. But she didn't know that healthier canned foods were still loaded with hidden sodium. Here's the insight most people miss. Salt itself isn't the enemy. Excess and invisible salt is. So what can you do? Start by making simple meals at home. Boil vegetables and season with fresh garlic, ginger, turmeric, or lemon juice. If you need salt, use coarse sea salt or pink Himalayan salt, but use it sparingly and intentionally. And when buying anything packaged, read the label. Look for items with less than 100 milliliters of sodium per serving. That's what the FDA considers low sodium. You don't need to fear food. You just need to see it clearly. Because when salt hides in everything, it's not the flavor that gets you. It's the pressure. The pressure on your blood vessels. The pressure on your heart. The pressure your doctor may not detect until something breaks. So before you reach for that can, ask yourself, is this nourishing me or slowly draining me? Your blood deserves better than preservatives. It deserves food that heals, not food that hides danger behind a shiny label. 6. Alcohol, the silent liver killer. A glass of wine with dinner, a shot of whiskey to help you sleep, maybe a cocktail or 2 on the weekend. It feels normal. It feels harmless. But over time, alcohol doesn't just affect your mood. It changes how your blood clots, how your liver heals, and how your heart survives. You see, your liver is a powerhouse. It filters toxins. It regulates blood sugar. And perhaps most importantly, it produces the proteins that control your body's ability to form or dissolve blood clots. That includes both clotting factors and anti-clotting agents. But when alcohol enters the picture, especially regularly and over the age of 60, that delicate balance begins to break. Here's what happens. Consistent alcohol intake causes inflammation in liver tissue. At first, you won't feel anything, but slowly, fat builds up inside liver cells. Then, scar tissue forms. This condition is called fatty liver disease, and it can escalate to fibrosis or cirrhosis. And here's where it becomes deadly. As the liver weakens, it struggles to regulate the proteins that keep your blood flowing safely. That means one of 2 things might happen. Some people lose clotting power, leading to easy bruising and bleeding. But for others, the opposite occurs. The liver produces an imbalance of clotting proteins, making the blood too likely to clot. And that's when small, silent clots can form in your legs, lungs, or brain without warning. Most people associate alcohol with liver failure or addiction, but few realize that it can quietly increase your risk of stroke, heart attack, or deep vein thrombosis, simply by disrupting how your body controls clotting. Let me share the story of Leonard, 70, a retired pharmacist. He didn't drink heavily, just 2 glasses of wine each night, like clockwork. He said it helped him relax, but over time, his liver enzymes began to climb. He felt tired. His hands trembled occasionally. Then one morning, he woke up with chest tightness. At the hospital, doctors found a small clot in his coronary artery. The culprit? Subclinical liver dysfunction caused by long-term alcohol use. Not enough to trigger cirrhosis, but enough to interfere with clot regulation. Here's the insight no one talks about. Not all alcohol damage shows up as liver failure. Sometimes it shows up as a blood clot. But there's good news. You don't have to give up alcohol entirely to protect your health. Here's what you can do. First, practice moderation. The CDC recommends no more than 1 drink per day for adults over 65, and that includes wine, beer, or spirits. Second, build in alcohol-free days. Aim for at least 2 full days per week without any alcohol. This gives your liver time to repair and reset. Third, support your liver with natural foods. Add turmeric to your meals. It contains curcumin, a powerful anti-inflammatory that helps liver cells regenerate. Try drinking artichoke tea or taking milk thistle extract, both shown to improve liver function in clinical studies. And most of all, listen to your body. If you feel sluggish, foggy, or notice bruising or swelling without reason, don't ignore it. It could be your liver asking for help. Because the truth is simple. Your blood depends on your liver, and your liver depends on you to make the right choices. Alcohol might relax your mind, but it could also be tightening your arteries. Drink mindfully. Rest your liver. Protect your blood. 7. Sugar, the invisible enemy of your circulation. You add a little sugar to your coffee. Sip a glass of juice in the morning. Maybe enjoy a small dessert after dinner. It feels like a treat, something harmless. But inside your bloodstream, that sweetness could be triggering a dangerous reaction, one that slowly damages your circulation, your brain, and even your life expectancy. Here's what most people don't know. When sugar enters your bloodstream in large amounts, it doesn't just give you energy. It attaches itself to proteins in your blood, a process called glycation. This reaction transforms those smooth, flexible proteins into rigid, sticky, and misshapen molecules. Now imagine these warped proteins trying to flow through your arteries. They're slower. They're sharper. They irritate the walls of your blood vessels, making them more likely to trap cholesterol, attract platelets, and trigger the formation of clots. Over time, glycation leads to inflammation, vessel thickening, and blocked microcapillaries, the tiniest blood vessels that feed your brain, eyes, and heart. Let me tell you about Mrs. Ellen, 72 years old, and a proud grandmother of 5. She was slim, active, and didn't have diabetes, but she had a habit. Every afternoon, she'd drink a diet fruit juice or a low-calorie soda. It helped her feel refreshed, she said. She thought it was better than sweets. But last year, she began to feel lightheaded. Her memory was fading, her balance unsteady. After a scan, doctors found microvascular constriction in her brain. Small vessels had narrowed due to years of glycation and chronic inflammation. The likely cause? Her daily sugar intake from drinks she believed were healthy. And here's the truth. Sugar damage isn't just about weight gain or diabetes. It's about what happens to your blood when sugar sticks to its most essential building blocks. Once glycation takes hold, your blood becomes thicker, your vessels less elastic, and your risk of blood clots rises dramatically. But there's good news. You don't have to quit sugar overnight, but you must start cutting back intentionally. Here's what you can do. First, swap sugary drinks for water with lemon, fresh mint, or cucumber slices. These keep you hydrated, support circulation, and help reduce sugar cravings naturally. Second, choose whole fruits instead of juice. When you eat an orange, you get fiber, antioxidants, and a slower sugar release. But when you drink orange juice from a bottle, you get a sugar spike with none of the protective benefits. Third, try a sugar reset. Go 7 days with no added sugar. Use cinnamon or vanilla to flavor foods. Eat more berries, almonds, and oats to stabilize your appetite and support clean blood flow. Your taste buds will adapt, and your blood will thank you. Here's what matters most. You may not feel sugar's damage today, but your arteries do. And one silent clot is all it takes to change everything. So the next time you reach for something sweet, ask yourself, is this fuel or is this fire? Because sugar may be invisible, but its impact on your blood is not. Your blood should flow free, not be trapped by lifestyle. You can't see your blood, but every second it carries oxygen, strength, and life to every part of your body. And what you eat, it travels with it. That means your meals aren't just meals. They're messages to your heart, your brain, and your future. Today, we uncovered 7 types of foods that quietly increase the risk of blood clots. Artificial sweeteners, processed meats, refined carbs, fast food, canned foods, alcohol, and sugar. Each one affects your blood in different ways. Some stiffen your arteries, some inflame your vessel lining, and others slow your circulation down to a dangerous crawl. But here's the hope. You don't have to change everything in one night. You just have to start. One better decision, one wiser choice, one small act of care each day. Take a walk instead of opening another can. Boil eggs instead of swinging through the drive-thru. Squeeze lemon into your water instead of reaching for soda. Little changes that make a big difference, because your blood should move freely, not get slowed, blocked, or thickened by things you can control. You deserve clear circulation, clean vessels, a calm, strong heart. So tell me, which food on this list surprised you the most? Leave a comment below. Your story might be exactly what someone else needs to hear today. And if this video helped you understand your body better, share it with someone you love. You never know. This might be the message that saves a life. Your health is in your hands, and the journey to protect it starts with the next meal.